Check out gold. Gold has already moved 130 pips today. What a massive move. We have a zone that's been reacting pretty well. Even better, it's been reacting great. It's support for us. The cloud, the blue one, it's slowly catching up. If the price reaches it, we might also bounce off the cloud, which would be an awesome option. A stop loss at $2,500 and a take profit at $5,000. That's a 2-to-1 trade. Come on, come on. Only $200 to full take profit. We got it. This position closed at full take profit. It followed our plan exactly as we predict. $4,662.
Start your learning journey with ALLin Traders using our convenient mobile app. Access over 100 educational materials anytime, anywhere.
Good morning. Good morning. A warm welcome to everyone for another trading session. Let's move on to the next set of analyses. As for the Forex market, we're looking for trading opportunities. We'll also touch on smart money because the timing is right. Okay, listen up. We'll start with the economic calendar, then move on to AI Kintel. And let's see what's in store for us today. August 5th, 3:45 p.m. We have news from the US, S&P Global Services PMI, and at 4 p.m., the ISM Services PMI, all marked as 3-star, high-impact news, so we definitely need to take this into account and factor it into our trading plan. I'll just check to make sure we have these news items. Yes, we do. And listen, we also have this, 2:15 p.m. ADP employment change. That's not listed. We need to pay attention to this. 2:15 p.m. That's because trading is prohibited on MF accounts during these releases. So if you have an account, you'll be trading on instant execution accounts. Well, we have to factor that into our trading plan. That's a 2-hour difference because the time on the platform also differs from what we see. It's 7:04 on the platform, so we have to add 2 hours. So at 2:15 p.m., we have news from the US that may impact the market and temporarily restrict our trading. But that's okay. Our session doesn't start until 3 p.m., so we'll be past the news by then, at least this set of news. There will be more at 3:45 p.m. and at 4 p.m., but we'll worry about those later. So far, this morning should be fairly calm, although I'd say there's already been some movement. There's even been some significant movement in gold. So let's head over to the trading platform, open it up, and see what's interesting going on. Take a look at gold. Gold has already moved 130 pips today. That's a massive move given today's volatility. It's only 9 a.m. and we've already seen such huge swings in gold. Of course, it's a little too late to go long now. If anyone got in this morning, great. They've probably already made a profit. As for the trading plan, we'll take a look at gold in a moment. Maybe something will pop up there. Definitely. If we want to trade the continuation, we'll have to wait for a correction. So we'll analyze the entire impulse. We'll see if there are any zones we can take advantage of, and so on. Tomek was just analyzing the majors regarding the PSND, so we'll check the targets before 9 o'clock. Let's move on to the euro and do an analysis. Tomek has already done the analysis, so maybe we'll skip that. Alternatively, we'll take a quick look at the target from 2 to 9 to see how it's shaping up. Strategy. Standard targets. Not very interesting to me. Well, let's see how it goes from 2 o'clock to 9 o'clock. But I think the target has already been settled from what I can see. Exactly. The target has been settled, so as far as percentages go, there's nothing for me to do. But we can try to use other available strategies. Among other things, if any of you are using the Asia strategy, you're probably already in positions. I don't actually trade Asia. I'd like to trade everything, but then I'd have to open 20 positions, and unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. Look, someone opened an API position, so there should already be 2 positions in play. The first one just got settled, and the second one might be looking good here too. I'm not going to take advantage of this for now, especially since the price is already pulling back. But okay, since we're already looking at the Asian session, it's time to switch. We also have the Asian session box. Of course, there's a certain kind of liquidity associated with it, which we can use, among other things, for our setup. To be honest, if I had to choose, and I can choose, and of course I can do that. I'm more interested in setups when it comes to basic sell trades. I don't need to trade every day, because these setups don't always work out. As you know, no strategy is 100% effective, so if we can eliminate certain elements, like certain times of day, or certain instruments that might perform better or worse, then I can make a more informed choice. Regarding this setup, entering a position, well, if we have an uptrend, I'm more interested in the continuation of that trend. So if we have a range, we see a liquidity pickup during the Asian session followed by a trend continuation. Then we have some sideways movement again, another liquidity pickup during the Asian session, and a trend continuation in line with the overall structure and the market's main direction. Anyway, let's see. Here the structure has changed, and it's an uptrend. What happened? A build-up from the bottom, a continuation, zone, and that setup is great. Again, a liquidity accumulation and a continuation, and it all makes sense to me. Here, however, that wasn't an option. Here too, liquidity is currently being accumulated from the top, but going short might carry a slight risk. So, a basic buy is out of the question for me. If I do have a choice, though, as they say, if you want to test it out for yourselves, you can certainly do that. We could even factor in a broader trend line, one that takes the previous day into account, and perhaps an opportunity will arise if the price breaks through. Maybe so. I'll probably pass on this one, but you guys can test it out. If you're testing, checking things out, and playing it out, then you can certainly consider this type of scenario. A downward trend. Okay, not a great option for me. I prefer to trade twice a week, but only on setups that suit me. Basic is fine, but as I said, entering a liquidity zone doesn't always mean the price will move in the opposite direction. So take it easy. Okay, I'll close the charts for now. What can we do next with the H1 chart? We can identify key zones in terms of smart money that might interest us. First, I have a liquidity zone up ahead. It's a local high. We have a liquidity zone associated with Monday's local high. That's Monday, August 3rd or so. The price is currently heading toward breaking out of this range, so perhaps a good option for us would be to jump on the uptrend. We'll see in a moment if that's the case. I don't know that yet. I'd like to identify a few other things first. Maybe we'll be able to spot a trend line. The best way to do this would be as follows. To be honest, it's because the first two markets usually react best, but as you can see, we have a sort of channel here.
Że dwa pierwsze swingi najczęściej najlepiej reagują, ale jak widać, mamy tu swego rodzaju kanał.
It's just that this range is enormous, so it's not useful to me right now, so I'm removing it for the time being. Maybe if the price drops lower, then I'll consider whether to draw this channel somewhere like this or not. I can still try to draw a trend line. The trend line is okay. In my opinion, it's not the worst. We've seen some nice reactions from yesterday and today. This line clearly supports buyers. If I've drawn zones like this, we can take a look at the support-resistance zone, that is, the support zones currently for buyers, because the price is above this zone. Take a look. Pay attention to this. We have a zone that has reacted quite well. I'd even say better. That's good. It reacted really well. We have an exit. Prices. We're on the other side. What does this mean for us, as buyers? If we can determine that we want to buy and we want to join the buyers, that's support for us. So now we can zoom into the lower M5 time frame, because of course we want greater precision. I'll also mark the liquidity of the Asian session for further observation. It might come in handy, but we'll see. There's also a gap here on the M5. That zone could be interesting. For now, I don't need it. We have some momentum from the price action cycle. Someone might want to look for some patterns. There's probably a rotation channel as well. If we combine these, the price is likely moving within the channel, and perhaps we'll be able to bounce off the lower boundaries. Maybe so. We'll see. What if, looking at the price action cycle, even though I don't analyze it first thing in the morning, the first leg and second leg were executed perfectly? So what? Do we have a chance to complete the third leg? Why not? Something is slowly taking shape here.
Here's a snapshot of the current situation. The euro has spiked up a bit. Well, seeing that gold was rising while the euro was holding steady, I was wondering whether to go long. There was a short-term move here that could have been captured, but no rush. Okay, let's add high volume, that is, our volume zones, which can be helpful. We have a breakout. The price has now pulled back. It worries me a bit that the price has pulled back, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have to use this zone. Absolutely not. I'll just change the parameters and see if anything changes when we adjust the settings. Well, it's changed slightly, but it doesn't make much of a difference. Okay, now this. Fix range volume profile. We have a point of control. This could be an interesting range. Here's 5. It's associated with a fairly strong impulse. Of course, I prefer ranges from higher time frames when it comes to the point of control, but okay, we'll see how it reacts. I'll just mark it as a note so I know where it comes from. And here, I can actually add a point of control impulse from this specific impulse. Okay, since we're on the subject of the volume profile, let's take a look at the entire day. There might be something interesting here. And I see a zone here that interests me. There's one thing I'll mention right away that bothers me a little. We have a range with low trading activity. It's obviously related to the imbalance zone, but what do I like about it? We have a sort of liquidity zone associated with these lows. So if traders who entered positions here hit their stop losses, we know exactly where they'll end up. It's no secret to anyone, so if the price returns to this range, it could be a trigger for buyers. It's a nice balance zone linked to the liquidity zone. The only thing that bothers me is, look, here's what I mean. This zone is a little bit below. Actually, you could extend this zone like this. It falls within the zone. Let's say it's within the zone. Let's say that if this breakout occurs, I wouldn't want the price to drop any lower. I'd rather we return to that support line for buyers, because these kinds of subtle movements are quite normal. Well, maybe it doesn't really bother me. I'm just not sure about setting up pending orders for this range. Unless we find additional confirmation, we'll see if there's any volume. Edge volume. Unfortunately, there's nothing interesting here. Okay, I actually have two interesting zones that could be promising, but the reaction is already showing up a bit earlier. What could this mean? It could mean we'll break out to the upside again if we want to play this rally. Playing that tune, I'd like to see the price move up some more. But was there any support? Perhaps at that resistance zone, but I'm not jumping in just yet. I don't need to enter a position just because they're moving. Listen, I have two zones that interest me. They're about to start moving now. I have to jump in. No, I don't have to jump in. I'd like to take advantage of what interests me, not what's happening right now. You know, some movement, sometimes just one candle, and we're already thinking, wow, they're moving, I'll jump in. And the next candle isn't moving in the opposite direction, so take it easy. So the first option is that if we see a good reaction, we'll see. Maybe we'll want to jump in on the upside, but I won't deny that this spot might be more interesting to me if the price bounces back. All we need is a reaction at this edge and a long trade to retest Monday's high, that is, this week's high. That's the scenario I'll be interested in right now when it comes to smartphones. I want to take advantage of the liquidity zone. I want to take advantage of their balance. And I'd call this a bit of a decoy, because if the price breaks through this trend line, some people will most likely try to short it, which doesn't mean the price won't go down. I don't know that either. If I did, we wouldn't be doing all this analysis here, so that's what interests me. If the price breaks out to the upside, an opportunity will arise for me. If it breaks down, we may need to change our thinking and look for a short position. Sometimes we need more market information, so sometimes we have to wait an hour or two. Maybe this makes sense until noon. Okay, let's take a screenshot. We need to go back to the journal because we didn't write anything in it during the last session. So I think we need to get back to that. August 2026. Here we're looking at the euro to US dollar screenshot. All right, as far as the euro goes, it seems to me that at this point, we have no choice but to wait. Look, this could also be a cool situation because that blue cloud is slowly closing in. If the price reaches it, we might also bounce off the cloud, which would be an awesome option. As far as I'm concerned, that's fine, so we'll wait. The price is slowly falling. Maybe a trading opportunity will pop up in a moment. Moving on, the euro is dropping sharply. Good, let it go. We're slowly approaching that zone, so maybe a trading opportunity will pop up soon. All right, I'll pop up the euro chart here on the side so I can keep an eye on it. If we drop down to that area and see a reaction, I'll try to use the trend line as support. We need to get back above that trend line. A reaction there, and the setup is ready, especially since it's a good support zone for buyers. As for the higher time frame, we've currently stalled in this zone, so if the price goes up, I'm not sure if I'll jump in. I'll probably wait patiently, because I've been in this situation before the zone more than once. The price starts moving, and they're already jumping in. I'm thinking, damn, they were supposed to react here, but they're reacting here. Okay, I enter a position, and I entered a position right here with a stop loss, let's put it that way. And a moment later, I see the price drop to my zone. They react and move up, and I've already hit my stop loss. So it's better that I didn't open a position and let them go without me than to get stopped out in a spot where the right conditions aren't expected to be met if that happens. It's fine. If I hit a stop loss, I hit a stop loss. We're not perfect. There are no perfect strategies. Stop losses are going to happen. You just have to take them in stride. If you can't handle that, that might be a problem. On the other hand, this is part of the business, and if we do our analysis and the plan is great, we'll hit the stop loss. Well, I don't blame myself. I did my best. It didn't work out. Oh well, not this time. That's the next step. So don't let this get to you mentally, because emotions in the market are your biggest enemy, as you probably know. Alright, listen, I think that's it for now. I have a few trading plans in mind. We'll see what the market brings, what the market shows. For now, at least I'm waiting for the right moment to take a position. We made a trading plan, among other things, for the euro, and it's slowly starting to play out. I just opened a position so you could see what it was like, literally a moment ago, about 3 minutes ago, with a stop loss at $2,500 and a take profit at $5,000, which is a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. That's more or less how it looks. I plan to take profit before it reaches Monday's high, so we have a little room to work with. The move isn't that big, just a few pips, but I think we can pull this off. Let me just briefly recap the plan. We were expecting the price to reach this zone and react to it. A price pullback above that trend line, a reaction at that level, which is what happened, and then entering the position. So I'm already in the position. We'll see how this plays out in the end. We'll see how this trade ultimately plays out. Right now, there's a small profit. We have 14 pips left to capture, so it's a short move. Well, literally 1 pip left, 4,600 in profit. Just a tiny move and we've got it. Come on, let's go. We're almost hitting the full take profit target. Listen, just the spread left, literally half a pip or even less. Let's go. 4,800. Just $200 more. Just $200 more. We've got it. The position is closed at full take profit. The analysis was done during our live trading session first thing this morning. The execution went through, though we had to wait a bit for the right conditions. The setup played out perfectly. It literally went exactly as planned. Profit 1 to 2, 4,662. We also got off to a pretty good start today. If you want to see how we trade and how we conduct our trade analysis, join us on YouTube every day at 3 p.m. And for members of our community, we have additional morning sessions, so you're welcome to join those as well. See you soon.
Start your learning journey with ALLin Traders using our convenient mobile app. Access over 100 educational materials anytime, anywhere.